In this video I show how I train finger movements for drawing and handwriting. This is the fourth video in the series on how to assess and train an effective grip and effective movements, finger movements for handwriting and drawing small figures in young children. Now, by the age of 5 to 6 years, young children with good graphomotor skills will have acquired an effective pencil grip and have started to use small movements of the fore and middle finger combined with small movements of the wrist for drawing small shapes and short lines and writing letters and numbers. But children with poor graphomotor skills, even after they have learned an effective grip, will tend to flex the wrist and use small flexion movements for drawing and handwriting, where small finger movements would be more appropriate. I like to start training finger wrist movements by drawing repeated circles and lines in different directions in small boxes. For this I use a sheet of paper with rows of blocks about 2 centimeters squared, with a thick baseline to emphasize the hand position relative to the baseline. So you've got a line, and you're going to draw figures above or lines above the line, but you rest your hand below the line like that. Now I start my training session by telling the child what we are going to do and letting them choose which pencil or marker they want to use for these activities. Allowing a child to choose the pencil or marker gives them a sense of having some control over the learning process and is being shown to enhance learning. So the child sits at a table on a chair the right height so that their feet are on the floor. I like to sit facing the child, but one can also sit next to the child. I like to start with drawing small circles in blocks. Next I draw small continuous circles in the first block using finger movements with a steady wrist. I go round and round and round about 4 times. Oops, here I need a pencil. So in the blocks I'm going to do this. You can see I direct the child's attention to my hand position and the sound of the pen on the paper. If you listen very carefully, pressing a bit loud, can you see? Listen to the sound my marker makes on the paper. The child then draws round and round circles in the first 3 blocks of their drawing sheet. So it's round and round circles within a block. I draw their attention to the sound of the marker. I say, listen to the sound you make. Was your sound the same as mine? Draw a few more circles. Remember to listen to the sound. If the child is pressing very hard, the sound will be loud and uneven. Suggest to the child that they try drawing the next circle, making a very soft sound. The child then draws round and round circles in the first 3 blocks of their drawing sheet. I draw their attention to the sound of the marker. Can you hear the marker moving over the paper? Listen to the sound you make. Was your sound the same as mine? You draw a few more circles. Remember to listen to the sound. I let the child do this. If the child is pressing very hard, the sound will be loud and uneven. See if I can make it loud. Suggest to the child that they try drawing the next circles, making a very soft sound. Or if they're if they're not putting enough pressure on the pencil, I ask them to redraw again the circles again, but make a little bit of noise. Can you hear the noise? And then you do. Let the child fill another couple of rows. Now, generally speaking, this drawing circles activity will elicit finger movements combined with small wrist movements while keeping the wrist steady. Remember that this is a new skill and will need several guided practice sessions before it is well learned. The child has to replace a well-established movement pattern, that's using the wrist, with a new pattern using finger movements. Also remember that breaking a habit is difficult and requires dedication. Then, depending on the child's ability to stay focused, we work on drawing lines in different directions, also in blocks.